What are you looking for, bro?
Oh, I'm just trying to find our offense.
They did not show up. What's up, Kinley? How's it going, bro? I'm your host, Fanatic Dak Broncos Country. Welcome to another fun episode with the Buck and Pod. My high salute to you. Winning is winning. It doesn't matter if it's by an inch, a mile, like uh, Dominic Toretto says, on Fast and Furious. As long as you get a dub, that's what as long as the letter is a W, that's all we care about. We're 4-2 though through 6 games. I'm excited. You touched on the offense. Give me some of your thoughts, some insight.
I mean, this was definitely a game where I feel Sean Payton got in Sean Payton's way. Bo Nix was dicing the Jets up in the first half. He was literally, I think he was 11 for 15 for 100 yards and a touchdown. It seemed like Sean Payton was just he did not have a good gameplay calling because the second half was just terrible. But I can't just put everything on Sean Payton because there were two drive killers from Matt Pert who had two holding calls after big plays. One on the one drive, Cortland Sutton, they convert, I think, a 3rd and 15. And
Yeah,
then later on, once again, gets called back. Troy Franklin and Bo connect, and Franklin, great run after the catch, negated by a holding call by Matt Pert once again, who had a horrific game. The offense as a
self-inflicted
whole,
wounds.
the offense as a whole, outside of Bo Nix, had just a horrible game, horrible game when it comes to the O line. Did not play well, and Sean Payton did not call a good game. That's what I have to start off saying by with this offense, because I don't know where the hell they at, because they damn sure wasn't in London. Maybe they still in Philly, only for the fourth quarter though.
Oh my god. Well, Kinley, being a Denver Broncos fan definitely isn't for the weak. Let's call it what it is. Let's be honest here. But really, what do you think is the reason for the offensive woes? I mean, you talked about play calling, uh, for Sean Payton. We were really not really executing for some ways. Penalties, self-inflicted wounds, as you can see. But it continues to be a question, right? We always talk about hopefully this offense can get out to a fast start. We're already through. We're 4-2, despite being 4-2 through 6 games. We still feel like we're not quite there yet in terms of the offense. Still trying to figure out an identity for the offense. What are you feeling, bro? Like,
I mean, I feel like Sean isn't. Bo is more effective in up tempo, going fast, no huddle. You know, Sean at first, the first half, it was a little short to medium, intermediate routes. Like it was clicking, and then he went away from it. He started trying to get the long shots in there, the deep routes in there, and your offensive line was not holding up. They got their butts whipped the whole entire game. The running game was not there, and it felt like Sean was trying to force it. Yes, we have talked on this show about Sean needing to run the ball when it's effective. It was
yeah,
not effective yesterday. They weren't executing on the offensive line. There wasn't many run lanes open, and Sean kept trying to force feed the run. And it's like, dude, this is the time where we want you to be trying to throw the ball, because Bo was killing. He was dealing. And
mm-hmm.
you took it. You didn't ask him to do much after that. Like after coming out of halftime, you didn't ask Bo to do anything. He was 0 for 3 in the third quarter. We're talking about 3 passing attempts.
And really, man, I really liked what I saw in that first half that you touched on. Bo Nix doing his thing, but Evan Ingram was
Yeah.
doing as well, man, in this game.
Ain't you asked me the question? Ain't you asked me the question? I was gonna hit on Evan Ingram. Ain't you asked me? You do this every time. Every time we own this, you do. You know what? Go ahead. Ask yourself the question. Go ahead. Talk about what I was about to hit on next. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Evan Ingram. Right now. Evan Ingram balled out, dude. Let me tell you. I mean, I added you on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was feeling myself seeing the way that Evan Ingram balled out, and I mean, in all totality, bro, he ended up with 5 receptions, 42 yards, and 1 carry for 7 yards, bro. But did you notice, like, when he was included in this offense, it flowed really nice. It
Yes,
nice.
exactly.
So,
Exactly. And then second half, where'd he go?
yes. What happened in the second half? Because you and I were talking about behind the scenes, and I was like, man, I really wish Evan Ingram was included more in the second half, because when you were doing that, you saw good things come about, right? So
Right.
why let off the gas on that aspect of including Evan Ingram? You know what I mean? Why go away from what's working?
And you ask that question, and the only thing I can look at is coaching. That's Sean Payton all the way. That is Sean, and Sean needs to get out of Sean's way. Like that's his problem. That ego, that pride, all that. Like, dude, it's time to. This isn't 2009 anymore. You have to. The offensive game has changed, and you have to get with it. Okay. Like, sure, you have some plays every now and then that you dial up, and you got them. I'm not gonna take that away from you. But when you are off your game, play calling, you are god awful.
And I saw some respected voices that do cover Broncos country had some concerns as well with the offensive play calling. So yeah, it's not just us blowing smoke as fans, like
Right.
normally that you do see on the timeline. It's every game that you're like, oh, it's play calling, it's play calling. No, man, you had some legitimate, well respected media
Yeah.
members complaining that it was an issue. So where do we turn next? Is to be seen. I kind of feel like we're still trying to figure out our identity, man. That's tough. We
Yeah.
need to figure it out fast though, because this Giants team is no joke that we'll get into later on this week, to cover on, and give our feedback on that. But onward, let's talk about some positive things in this game, bro. It's not all black hole on the offense. Let's talk about the good things,
It got to be just
nine
defense.
9 sacks the defense had against the New York Jets. Yeah, count them up, baby. You look at that. Look at that.
That's what I found.
Kinley was doing his thing in the second grade. anyway, anyways, so nine sacks, bro, and Justin Fields had a net rating passing yards of -10, bro.
If you,
Holy
Jesus, that
oh!
defense made the play. Woo!
But behind the scenes, you and I had a conversation. Yeah, I'm coming for you. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I was a little disappointed with my boy Kinley here. Behind the scenes, we were talking in a group chat, and he was kind of like, "Oh, but look at those stats that Justin Fields putting out." Stop the cap.
I
hold on,
said
hold on.
most of it was in garbage time, but
But I was like, bro, he hasn't really faced a legitimate defense like the Broncos, because what happened after he did, ladies and gentlemen?
fair, fair.
Stuffed his ass like a bunch of sack of potatoes, if I'm being honest.
In my defense, I
Acting
thought
like he was Michael Vick or something.
no,
I
I
don't know what
didn't.
you were thinking, bro.
No, I didn't. You see, he just trying to make himself feel better, like because he was right and I was wrong about. I felt like Justin Fields was more of a threat running and possibly throwing than Jalen Hurts was because we've seen how Justin Fields hurts teams with his legs.
No pun
So
intended.
but I will say what I was right about because somebody thought we was gonna just kick their you know what over here. He thought that. I said, look, it's gonna be a tough game because the Jets they should have wins on their record. They've lost some close ones. Not to mention we're coming off a physical game versus Philly, and we have to travel to London.
I wanted
But
Belt to ask, damn it.
but this one over here was like, nah, we're gonna kick their butt. Like it's the Jets. They're all this fun. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's
I
gonna
had
be
my belt
tougher than you
beside
think.
me, bro. I had the belt beside me. The defense
Well,
came to play.
The Jets picked it up and started spanking the offense's ass. That's what they started doing.
Yeah, I hear
But that
you.
defense, that
There was
defense
some
came through.
spankings
Look,
given out.
defense came through and said, "Hey, give me that, give me that." So but big shout out to the defense. If you would have told me that this defense would have netted negative passing yards in the game earlier in the week, I would have been like, you crazy. Like has that ever happened in football? Like, I don't know, maybe it has. But if you would have told me that this Broncos defense was gonna have Justin Fields throw for negative 10 passing yards. We sack him 9 times. We should have had a forced fumble, but
I did not
we're not
have that
even
on
going to talk about the NFL
Google
with a
card.
blind ass. You know, still, this defense was balling out. Sean Payton, you need to give your game check to Vance Joseph for this week because
That leads me to the next transition. Let's roll along here. Sorry to cut you off, Kinley. The Broncos are on pace for 85 sacks, bro. Through 6 games, we have 30 sacks as a defense. The team that had the most sacks recently, that holds the record, is 72 sacks. The Philadelphia Eagles, I want to say the 2022 season. I'll have to look at the dates. Don't quote me on that for sure, but they were the organization that held the record for 72 sacks. Last year, we just had 63. I know you and I.
Was it 63 or 68?
63.
63.
So and we've talked about this before on podcasts, previous episodes, that we feel like the Broncos will pass 63, but damn, they're on pace for 85. I really feel like this Denver Broncos defense and the way Vance Joseph has really dialed in his blitz packages. He's an evil genius, let me tell you, when it comes to blitzing. I think that they do beat the record this season, but reach 85, I'll pump the brakes on getting 85.
Yes. And the only reason why I agree with you on that is because look at that Colts game. They only had 1 sack. So
we might have games like that. We might, and there's potential for
exactly.
Like
exactly.
We're not
so that's why, I agree with you on that. I'm not going to say they break it. I don't know yet. I don't know.
73. I'll just take 73. That's 10 more than last season, and that's doable. Like 85 is a big stretch for me, if I'm being honest.
Right.
So yeah, man, I don't know. But I want to see. I mean, like we talked about, like we have the Giants coming up. And we'll get to that later down the line. But dude, like we're 4-2 through 6 games. We're tied with the Chargers at the top of the division. Who else? Who we thought that would be in this race? But the Chiefs are back in the race as well. And not that they were ever truly out of the
officials.
They're officially back in the race.
Penalties? Come on. But look, it ain't about the Chiefs. F them. Anyway.
FUKC. Anyway, yeah. So
I did want to tell you. Did we notice that Pat Bryant got more snaps on offense than Marvin Mims did?
Ooh, spectacular! And I noticed that he moved the chains, some of the plays that he got some runs, so that was good.
Yeah. He's a chain mover. That's what he is.
A chain mover, huh? Well, Pat Bryant had 2 receptions for 22 yards, targeted twice, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty good when you target. Hey, you make do what you got, what you get.
You know who the leading receiver was for the Denver Broncos yesterday? What's though?
I would think it was Evan Ingram.
Yeah, bing, 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 bingo, ding, 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 ding. Oh, but who said the last episode? I wonder who that fellow was that said that this guy would have a better game, and be involved in.
Well, I mean, he would have had a better game if they would have targeted him in the second half. Like that's the problem with this offense. That's the problem with this offense, though. Sean Payton, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't feel like you have to do extra or be cute. If it's working, continue to do it. If it's working.
And I would like to see maybe Calvin Throckmorton at the left guard position rather than than Parrott, because
let us pray.
That was tough. Let us Parrott. That was tough, bro. Like it was just poor guy.
That was a bad game.
I was high on him coming into the season as a depth piece, but
you signed him to a 2-year deal, because he was a serviceable backup. So I thought he would be. I literally was telling people on Twitter, like, hey, he's going to be fine. Like, we could plug him in there. I think he's going to do well. And he looked like he reverted back to his Giants days.
Ooh, that stinks. Ooh.
Yeah, like that's bad.
Yeah, bro. Well, sometimes though in this league, bro, despite it was an ugly win, bro.
We'll take the dub.
We'll take the dub, and you can see that it is hard to win in the NFL. Just ask the Jets, who are 0-6 at this point of the season.
Yep.
It's a tough league to win, bro. Everybody's
True.
elevated their game. Everybody's trying to do their thing, and oh man, it was just I will take it. I even mentioned last yesterday on the Twitter feed, bro. I was just like, just get us. I don't care what we got to do. Leave London with a W, bro.
Yes.
Because if we leave London with an L, like the way it's spelled, like that is rough. That is gonna be a long week, especially in a matchup where the Giants are upcoming. That I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not sleeping on the Giant. Let me tell you.
We shouldn't. Not after that offensive performance. No, unless like we can't bank on our defense to do that every game. I'm glad our defense is showing that eliteness, but you can't just sit there and bank on like Sean Payton 3rd and 10, and he did a fullback dive, and people are wondering like, what the hell? Why did he call that? And some saying, well, he just
Third
trusts his
and yeah.
defense. I'm like, man, you didn't have no trust in your offense. That's what that's telling me. You have no trust in your O line because they were getting their butts handed to them the whole entire game. Everyone.
He of all playbooks, all plays in that playbook, he called the fullback dive.
Fullback draw. I'm sorry, fullback draw.
Dive draw. It didn't even matter. Your fullback was running the football. You didn't even go to
Right.
your top rusher on your team, who's probably like number 4 in the league. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Speaking of rushes, the fact that we activated Jaleel McLaughlin and Sean Payton alluded last year that it's hard to feed 3 running backs. When we had Javonte, we had P. Ryan, we had Jaleel. Oh, it's hard to feed 3 running backs. And I'm over here like, this year, you go out, you sign a J.K. Dobbins, you draft a running back in the 2nd round. Why in the hell are we taking carries away from R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins to give touches to Jaleel McLaughlin? Didn't you say, Sean Payton, that it was hard to feed 3 running backs? Why are we doing it? Why are you continuing to try and do it? What are you hoping for? What are you hoping for? Because I sure as hell don't know. And I think everybody's confused at that. Like, you're going back on what you said. So what is it that you're trying to see what you have in Jaleel McLaughlin? Maybe you're trying to showcase him to be a trade piece. I don't know. But the only running backs that should be getting the ball and getting touches is J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. I don't need to see 3 running backs. I just need to see 1 and 2. Okay? That's all I need to see, Sean. Stop it. Stop it. That's what you said, Sean. You said it. So go stick with your word. Stick with your word. I'm sorry. This offense just got me frustrated sometimes because, like, offensive genius. You this offensive genius, and we scored 13 points. We didn't do anything for the first 3 quarters last week. That's 2 weeks in a row. But when we went up tempo in the 4th quarter last week, and when we went up tempo for the 1st quarter and a little bit of the 2nd, we scoring points. Oh, and we went up tempo to get in that field goal range to score a field goal. I'm ranting here, but even still, come on, Sean. I still believe in you, but come on, man. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the frustration has been brewing. I think not just from Kinley, but from all the fan base for this offense. We continue to be waiting for when we're going to see it get better. Because I thought we were leaning towards that direction, but we've kind of reverted back to being sluggish offense again. But you said Sean Payton's supposed to be a offensive-minded genius, but the genius seems to be outsmarting himself in some ways, which is very tough and frustrating. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yep.
But let's talk about some other news. I mean, let's get off the offenses. Let's get off of them for a little bit because Dre Day incoming. We got some good news, What are you thinking, bro? Like, I know that was one of your favorite signings this offseason. I know you were pounding the table for him in the offseason. You got your man. We are still waiting to see your man, rather. Let me know how you feel, bro. Coming off IR this game, or what do you think?
I don't know if he's going to come off IR this week. I mean, we could see the same thing like we saw with Malcolm Roach. He was eligible to come back, but he missed the Eagles game, and he came back for the Jets. So if Dre Greenlaw is a no-go this week, I mean, you have 21-day window to get him in there. So it's either this week versus the Cowboys or the Texans. So as long as he's 100% healthy, That's all that matters. Because when he comes back, I'm telling you, when he comes back and you add him to this defense, curtains. Because for opposing offenses, is over.
Yeah, he's a very athletic freak when he is healthy, bro. Like you see him cover ground so quick, roving that middle of the field, bro. He's an animal, dude. So definitely a major upgrade that the Broncos organization had signed up for when they signed the contract. Right, they knew what they were getting out of him.
Right.
It's wait to be seen, and I know it's probably like a what do you call it? I'm losing my mind of what I'm trying to say right here. It was a disappointing signing to this point because of the return of investment. You haven't really got what you were hoping for, but that's okay. It's not because of Dre Greenlaw by any means. It's the circumstances, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
So we just have to be patient. We've gone through 6 games up to this point. We're sitting at 4-2. Why not have this gentleman on the field, healthy, ready to roll?
Right.
For to make a playoff run. That's where it really counts. When you're, I mean, all the games count, but when it's really in the thick of the race towards, from this point on, we're gonna need him, right? So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's gonna be a fun ride with Dre Greenlaw, bro, playing on this defense, who's already been an elite defense. Can you imagine, bro? You see what Hufanga's done and added to this
I can't wait.
defense.
I can't wait.
Throwing in a Dre Greenlaw, bro, has me salivating, bro, for what this defense could really be that much better. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. You know what, bro? Like I said, we took a win. It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine, bro. It's going to get figured out.
Yep.
But
I still believe in
anything
you,
else?
Sean. That's all I wanted
Anything
to say.
else?
Still believe with you. Nope, that's it. That's it for me. Glad we're in the club dub. We're 4-2, on to the Giants. But that's all from us for the Buck and Pod. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at Buck and Pod. Follow us on TikTok at Buck and Pod. We're growing. We want to get out more and more content. We'll be dropping here soon. And remember, if it ain't about the Broncos, Buck 'em.
Buck
Peace.
Deuces.